Good morning guys, and welcome back to Damo Drives, bringing real reviews to real people and answering some of those questions other channels might not talk about. You may be wondering what on earth you're doing starting a video in a Tesco's car park. Well, the reason I'm here is because of the car behind me. This is the brand new Cupra Born. In fact, it's Cupra's first all-electric car. Now, I did a first drive impressions video around 3 weeks ago. I only had the car for an hour and a half, but Cupra Hendy in Brighton have given me the keys for the weekend to this car and said, go and knock yourself out. Well, not literally. Well, I hope they didn't mean that anyway, and see what you think of the car, get used to it a bit more. So what I've decided to do, I'm heading down to HPC Classics in Eastbourne, where they've got a car meet, and I want to get people's opinions of the car. A lot of people don't know much about EVs. They don't know who Cupra are, so it's going to be really interesting. Gets me out, have some bacon rolls, cup of coffee, and talk to like-minded people. It's going to be a huge range of things, everything, probably lots of TVRs, other petrol-based cars. I doubt very much we're going to see many EVs. And once we've had a look around there, we're going to go for a bit of a drive around some gorgeous Sussex countryside with a number of the cars there. So, yeah, we're going to hop in. Now, I need to go back anyway. Why am I standing here? I'm charging the car. My local charger down at, I think it's Esso, there's two charging stations down there and they're both out of order. I don't have any way of charging the car at home, so I'm having to use public infrastructure. It gives me a chance to pop into Tesco's, get a couple of bits, and by then, hopefully this car will be all charged up. So, yeah, just need to wait a few more minutes. So right, we are all charged, we are ready to go. 99%, 217 miles of range. If you haven't seen the inside of a Born before, you'll get to do that over the course of the video. The first unusual thing is actually starting it. We don't have a gear selector down here. It's all up here on this little nubule here, so we just twist that to B. Don't put the keys in because it knows you're sitting down, and that's it. Put your foot down and you drive away in silence. So I'm really looking forward to this. I do like most things about this car, if I'm being honest. I like the look of it. I know looks are quite subjective and not everyone likes EVs either at the moment. So going down to a large car meet full of petrol heads, probably with a number of V8 cars down there, modified things, classics, and trying to get other people's opinions of the car, it's going to be quite fascinating. I think there's going to be around 100 people, so yeah, one or two people will probably love it. Some people, I am sure, will absolutely despise it, which is a bit of a shame, but like I said, it's not for everyone. And then we'll have a look around the car and do some usual things if you've never seen inside this car before. And then once that's done, we're going to have a group of us go out for a drive around the Sussex countryside. So this is, yes, a tool to go from A to B, but is it a fun car as well? So while we're heading down to HPC Classics, why don't we have a chat about the Cupra Born? The actual underpinnings of it are based on the MEB architecture from the Volkswagen Audi group. They got, I think, probably one platform for all of their EV cars. So you'll see it in the likes of the Audi e-tron, Skoda, I think it's Skoda Enyaq, and also the ID.3 by Volkswagen. Now that's a very important car to this because they're not the same, but they are fundamentally the same. They look very similar, the same underpinnings, but I personally think this is a better car. I think it definitely looks better. I think the materials are better. It's just generally a better car in my opinion, but everyone is subjective to that. Now, the model I have here today is the 58 kilowatt V1 model, so 58 kilowatt if you're not au fait with electric cars, which most people aren't. In fact, I wasn't until about a year and a half ago when I started reviewing them. The battery refers to basically the range of the car, what it could possibly go. So 58 is the smallest, give you a range of around 260 miles. And then you've got the 77 kilowatt, so bigger battery, and that will give you a range of, I think it's about 330, and that's the WLTP numbers. You never quite get those numbers, and in another video, so hit the subscribe button and notification bell, I'm going to be doing more of a range test in this to see what you can actually get out of the car. But anyway, let's jump on a bit more, not talk about future videos just yet. So that is the engine I have in here. It's 204 PS in good old BHP standard terms. It's got quite a bit of poke. I mean, it's around 340 Newton meters, and that's the thing about electric cars. When you get in them, it's just instant power. You don't have to wait for turbos to spool up. 67 seconds. They do a faster model, and that's an option you can have fitted to the car. It's called e-boost, and they give you another 30 brake horsepower. So it will knock about 0.3, 0.4 of a second off your 0 to 60. I'm not sure it makes a massive difference, and it's around the £700 mark. So here we go. They are just around the corner here. I don't think anyone's going to be here at all yet. It's still like an hour and a half before people are supposed to start turning up, but I hope that means I can grab a coffee from the guys down here, have a mooch around some of the stock they've got in at the moment, because they've got some amazing stuff down here. Right, it's about 2 hours on from when I've arrived, and it's absolutely packed. The whole car park is full of people. House on the Road is full of people. We've got coffee van from the B Road Hunter Club, we've got a bacon and sausage van, so let's have a look around here. Porsche Boxster, there's the Cupra Born. Right, I'm going to flip this around and I'm going to show you rather than looking at my mug here. So as I was saying, there's the Born. We'll get some people's opinions of that. This is an M6 Grand Coupe, heavily modified, 720 brake. I've driven that, so I'll put a link in a card up above and you can have a look at that. This you might think is a normal BMW 3 Series, and it's not. So we wander around the back. Those who know, this 320 SI. So this was developed more for, it was like a touring car signed by Andy Prio, which is pretty awesome. We wander over here. We've got lots of classic things over here. This car here is looking very awesome indeed. I'm not great with all of the car names, especially classics, so put in the comments if you know what they are. I know these ones. This is really cool. Been chatting to the owner about this. Let's keep going round. Look at that, that's off. Things have arrived and disappeared, so we've got a very cool looking Maserati. Now this is a bit of a beast leaving. This thing here, this Mustang, I was here originally, they sold this at HPC, and this thing is pretty mental. Hopefully he's going to leave in the nicest possible way. It could be good timing. Yeah, this thing is like, we know they're loud anyway, but it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. It's at that level of my ears have started bleeding. So let's carry on. Have a look around. Tuscan, absolutely love those. C63 Estate, again driven one a few years ago, absolutely awesome as well. Look at this RS200. Let's see if we can get through the throngs of people here. How cool is that? Again, a Tuscan. It might be a Tuscan S, I can't tell, but it's the Mark 1 because you can see by the grille here they're slightly different, and also the headlights are different over the Mark 2. but one of my dream cars to drive, and luckily I got to do it quite recently. Fab. Now look at this next to us, RS Cosworth. What a legendary car this is. Wow. And then you go next door. What a eclectic range of cars we've got here. We've got a Caterham, an Atom just beyond here. Absolutely bonkers, these things. I should have one on the channel about 2 or 3 weeks time. Not this one they're actually selling here at HPC, as long as they decide not to sell it. But what an absolutely wicked car. As you can see, a bit of a TVR fest here. But they're awesome. I'm falling in love with TVRs. They are such a good car. XKRS. Love this in the blue. Ah, we've got some things leaving. So yeah, this thing looks pretty cool. Let's keep going around. Number of MX-5. What else we got down here? Right. Not seen any of these in a while. An FTO. Love a good Subaru. Looking very cool there. Here's the owner. Cool. So, classic Mini. What an amazing car. Not driven one of these yet. This is one thing that needs to be done at some point. Let's keep going around. Another TVR. Now over here, this is an interesting little corner. RS4, very cool. Look at this here. Oh, what an amazing bit of kit this is. Wow. Now, look at that. That is just awesome. Amazing. Guessing that's a paint job as opposed to being knackered. I've driven a Mini Gonzo, like that was the same sort of patina look as that. But this thing sounds absolutely amazing. Now this Integra, this has had a ton of work doing so. It's been turbocharged, completely rebuilt, and that again was done down here at HPC. I've seen that in sort of numerous states and bits.
Nothing like
that. S2000, again drove, I know I've driven one of them. About 2000 I got to drive one of them for about half an hour, so not really spent too much time with one of those. M6, another TVR, you keep going around the corner, there's more and more. Wow, this is definitely a good day. So what we're going to do now, we're going to grab a coffee. We're then going to be heading out around 11 o'clock. Some of us are going for a bit of a drive. I think it's got about an 80-mile drive, something like that. It'll be interesting to see how the Born gets on. We know it's quiet and comfortable and good at wafting around. But what's it like when you push it a bit more? Hang on, I've got to stop. Right, got to show you this. I didn't even notice this. Look at this. Oh, what a car. What a car that is. Just more and more things. So we're going to go over and have a look at this car. We've got someone here who's showing me around his car, and this is the polar opposite, and I'd love to get his opinion. We're going from, so when was that? That was a 19...
That's a 75 engine.
75 engine.
75 car.
So we're going to flip it round. Now, this is the car I've come in.
Oh my God.
Now,
Wow.
What do you think of,
Super. That's
being
gotta be
honest,
electric.
what do you think of the looks?
What do I think of?
The looks of the car.
It's pretty. It's pretty. I take it as electric.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think you'd know it was electric.
Yeah, I'm trying to sort of get with this electric stuff. Probably too old though.
Never too old.
Yeah.
Be interested to see whatever look inside as well.
Yeah, I have to say, it took me time to understand how it all works, but
Magic.
I now understand that there is obviously not a need for a gearbox.
Yeah.
You just step up the, is it the amperage that's going to the motor?
Yeah, so you've got
You know.
batteries, yeah, you've got measured in kilowatts.
Yeah, and you just wind up, is it the amperage going into the motor?
I suppose it
That's where
probably
the
is. I
power
don't know
comes
the
from.
full.
So they're all automatics. One day people won't know anything about changing gear.
Probably, well, this is. What do you think of the inside?
Oh, wow. It's just a spaceship, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a spaceship.
Now the impressive thing is, I'm going to get you to start it.
Right.
Sit in it.
Okay. Yep, here we go.
You've started it.
But by just getting in it?
Yep. You've sat down and that's it.
This is too much, isn't it? I mean,
Well, changing gear
you go on. You tell it to
up
change
here.
it.
You just twist it. You don't want to twist it because you
No.
go forwards, but
Okay.
yeah, you just twist it
Wow.
and that's it.
What is the range of this?
This would do 240 miles on a charge. Takes, if you've got like a fastest charger you can find, it will charge in 32 minutes.
Yeah. And this business about winter and putting the heater on and how quickly?
Okay, so the best option for that is, so what you'd do, you'd plug it in at home or wherever, and you can preheat your car. So
Yeah.
rather than charge it when you're going, you'd say, right, at 6 a.m. I want my car to be at 23 degrees, and it will warm it up while you've plugged it in, so it won't use any electricity. And
I see.
That's the best way of doing it.
A nice
So
warm car to
yeah,
get
yeah,
into.
so you just get in.
Yeah. Funny enough, when I lived in Canada on the prairies, this is in the 70s, you plugged your, well, the engine would have an element, same as an electric kettle,
Yeah.
down in the sump, and that would keep the oil from turning into total sludge and making it heavy, hard to turn the engine over to start it. So anyway, so you had this socket on your gate, but you could also have an in-car heater. And I remember a neighbour, he had an in-car heater, and that was on a timer. So this is in the 70s.
Yeah.
He'd walk out the house, get in the car, lovely warm car. I mean, even then they were thinking about getting the car
So
nice
they've
and
done it
warm when
already.
you got into it. Yeah. No, this is something else. Something else. And this is what, the latest this year, is it?
Yeah. I think it was released end of last year, but it's only just been delivered. This basically, I picked it up from the Cupra dealer in Brighton,
Yeah.
just up near Hollinbury.
Yeah.
And it had just come off the transporter, this one. It was delivered yesterday.
Yeah.
So it had 4 miles on it.
Where's your sunroof?
I don't have one. That's an optional extra that it hasn't got.
I know. I mean, they've just gone out of fashion, haven't they?
Yeah,
They've
so
gone
you
out
can
of fashion.
you can option it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But not on, because this is like the base spec. They've gone for, this is, if you went for the bottom of the range, this is what you get. And there's still quite enough stuff in here, to be honest. So I'm here with Alex.
I'm Alex, yes.
I almost forgot his name now. Dol. Just want you to have a look at, this is the new Born.
Yeah.
And your honest opinion.
Okay.
I know you're not, you're more of a petrol person.
I'm a classic car nut, yeah.
What do you think of this? Honestly.
At the moment, the green stripe, I'm not that fussed by on the number plate. It's an electric one, so it's a little bit of an awkward one. I don't really know. I've not really seen it. I like the.
So if your first thing you look at it, would you go, oh, or do you think, oh, it looks a bit edgy, or
I like the front end.
yeah?
Don't like the people carrier look about it personally. I think it's a bit pedestrian.
Is it because it sits up high? Do you
Yeah,
think?
I like low slinky cars, not big ones. What's its purpose? Is it a everyday car, or is it a bit more sporty? Or
it's sort of an everyday. I'll show you around it if you want. If you want
Yeah.
to have a look inside, I've got to find the key. There it is. So it's, I suppose, it is an everyday. It's slightly more sporty because it's the Cupra brand.
yeah. I like the interior, to be fair.
So, and interestingly, now you've got in,
Yeah.
you've started the car.
Right. Okay.
You just sit in it.
Yeah.
And
that's
starts
it. That's it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like the interior. Nice steering wheel, and I like the bronze accents. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, lots of people seem to like that. That's sort of a Cupra.
A little bit Alcantara stuff, which is quite plush.
A lot of this is sort of not recycled. Well, it sort of is. It's like this sort of fabric. I'm not reaching between your legs. It's a bit weird. Yeah, that's made from plastics that have been dredged out the sea and lakes.
Oh, okay,
it's like
cool.
10% of that comes from there, which is quite cool.
I mean, it's not the tar for me, but it's...
No, you're a low-slung MX-5 modified.
That's the one, yeah.
Hooning it around type.
That's the one.
Car, but...
General hooligan.
Yeah. What about the rear look?
I like the front, I like the back. I just don't like the overall...
Too high for you.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's the aerodynamics, isn't it? It's the low drag, sort of Prius and i3 style design.
Yeah.
But I just think it looks a bit just too bulky, personally. I understand that's how cars are going, but
well, it's nearly 2 ton of vehicle. It's
got drum brakes on the back.
Yeah, discs and drums.
Okay.
Because it's got the motor to do all the regen, you don't need as bigger stopping force.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing maybe it's cheaper to put that, or they just don't know.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Bizarre,
I like the colour. To be fair, the colour is really nice. That's a really nice pops in the sunlight.
Yeah, I think it's like 800 quid. I think it's like one of the optional extra bit, because then this is like the bottom of the range spec one.
Oh, okay.
Which is quite a good one to have, because you go, right, you're going to have at least this if you buy it.
Yeah.
36 for the bottom, 37.
I mean, to be fair, that's not too bad really in today's prices. That's reasonable.
Going up to 42, I think, for the bigger battery.
Yeah.
Longer range.
What is the range?
So this is the 58 kilowatts, so the smaller one, which is 250 miles, I think, roughly.
Okay, yeah,
260.
So that's what I'm getting out of my Mazda. That's fair.
But how long does it take you to fill your Mazda?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Yeah. Not quite.
Not the same.
Well, rapid charger on this, 32 minutes from 20 to 80%.
That's not too bad, yeah.
If you can find one.
Yeah. Isn't there talk of Tesla though sharing superchargers?
Yeah, you can do.
Yeah.
But I've seen some forums that said, "Oh yeah, we have," but I haven't had the car for long enough to find a Tesla charging station.
Yeah, to see if it works. Yeah.
But it's a good way of doing it. You need more things and places to charge. You can plug it at home with your 3-pin plug, but it's like 30 hours.
Yep. Yeah, and you've got to have a space for it to be able to do that.
Yeah, I'd have to drive into my garden.
Yep.
So we're off. How much fun is a Cupra Born? I'm expecting this to be good. It's a Cupra. It's the sporty version of the brand. Wow, there's a lot of cars. So we're following Miles in the 320 SI. We've got the Integrale ahead of that, which hopefully you might be able to see it. It's going to be interesting but fun. I was surprised about when having a look around the outside was the fact this car only has drum brakes at the back, discs at the front, and I was thinking, well, it's such a heavy car that surely it must have it, but it doesn't. But when you think about it, I suppose it makes sense really, because you've got the electric motor acting as a brake as well. I think most electric cars and PHEVs do exactly the same thing, so you don't need huge disc brakes to slow you down, even though this car weighs 1.8 tons. I think we're in Pevensey now. That's on my right, if you could see it, is Pevensey Castle. Looks more like Pevensey Wall. Well, this bit maybe a bit more castle-like, nice and twisty. Really pretty little village, this. It's ideal for electric cars because you're not chucking out tons of fossil fuels and clogging up people's lungs like that walker there and that dog. Yep, we've got an Atom with us. We've got a very leery looking thing just back there. That thing looks evil. I'm driving one of them this coming weekend, so that'll be on the channel in a few weeks time. So at last I found some decent roads. They're pretty busy still, but hopefully we can push on and see what this car's like when you're progressing on and trying to have a bit more fun. I seem to have lost, well, everyone. They've gone somewhere, probably gone to the pub, but I want to see what this car's like. It's all about the Born and not the pub. But how are we going to do? I'm not sure at the moment because of that weight. 1.8 tons for this. It's another 150 kilos when you do go up to the 77 kilowatts. It's a lot of weight. It's low down though, mind you, so that might be in its favour, but let's see how we push on. Right, so we're not going to obviously go anywhere too quickly, but enough to see can you have fun in this car. Cupras are all about the sporty funness. Hard on the brakes. Go around. You can definitely feel the weight behind you pulling you round. Right, tight and twisties. Let's see. This will really show up. You can feel that back starting to ever so slightly switch round there. I mean, that's doing well. You've got that instant torque, which is the absolutely amazing thing about this car. In fact, electric cars in general. You put your foot down and shoot off like a rocket. But yeah, it's doing pretty well. Like I said, it's that weight. And the other thing I've noticed, when you're on the brake, it feels a bit, not quite spongy, but almost like there's two settings or something on it. And I don't know whether this is me talking rubbish, but I don't know whether the electric motor is causing the braking for the first bit, and then when you press on the brake a bit further, it then starts using the pads. So slightly weird. It's not quite spongy, but something doesn't quite give me enough confidence at the moment to really push on. It's good. It's very good. I'm starting to feel a bit happier with it. I think it's just not having the car for very long at the moment. I mean, I suppose I think it's me, maybe. Just need to get used to that. Right, it's the last 3/4 of the brake travel. Maybe because it's a new car. I don't know, but that was good. Like I said, a heavy car. You can definitely feel that weight, but it's doing a very good job at hiding it. It's that acceleration there where we come up against the Tesla. So overall, this car is really good. I'm impressed with it most of the time. As an everyday car, it's brilliant. If you want to push on a bit more, then it's great. If you go over, say, 7/10 of what the car's capable of, it starts, well, that weight really catches up with you. You can tell it's a heavy car. But there is some compromises, obviously, you've got to have. You can't, oh, where's that Tesla going? Yeah, you can't have everything. I would be really interested to, I'll have to go at this, yeah. That's 60. Yeah, I'd really like to have a go with the one with the adaptive dampers to see what's the difference. These passive dampers, is this setting the equipment to firm maybe on the active? Maybe they're like soft, I don't know. I think that's something I'd definitely like to try out if I get the chance. But overall, yeah, it's a good car. People at the car meeting there, they were really impressed. Most people were like, yeah, that's really cool. There was no one that said, oh, that's an ugly car, so that's definitely a great thing. Some people were, well, I'm not sure if it's for me, but I do like the look of it. But generally, I think Cupra has done a very, very good job with this car. Anyway guys, if you've got any questions about this car, put it in the comments down below. I will be doing a range test in 2 or 3 weeks time, probably with this car, this exact car. So hit the subscribe button and notification bell and you'll be alerted when that video comes out. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Comments are always welcome, and remember to click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.